What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Nintendo Guru. Time for the breakdown. Every single day, Monday through Friday, I take the top Nintendo stories of the day, talk about them, discuss them, break them down, give my opinions on them. So,
here we go.
man, we have so much news to jump into today. Let's just get right into it, shall we? Let's not waste no time. And as I'm talking, I'm thinking to myself,
Like you're wasting time. Just get into it. Let's go. Shut up. Go. Go.
so, okay, Shovel Knight. Massive game a few years ago, right? This game, this little indie game, the little engine that comes up out of nowhere, creates this new character that everybody falls in love with.
Love me some Shovel Knight. Love me some Shovel Knight.
And essentially, they just keep adding DLC to this original game. These are all Kickstarter levels that were achieved during their campaign. And at some point, people are just like, man, when are we going to get to the next iteration? We have one more campaign to get through. And once this game basically hits, it's done, and Yacht Club will move on to their next game. And that basically is King of Cards. It's the final piece of the puzzle that we're waiting on. And we might have to actually wait a little bit longer. So I'm one of the people that originally pre-ordered the 3-pack, the Amiibo 3-pack of the Shovel Knight characters. And man, it's been sitting in the Best Buy orders for over a year now. Like, it's already wrapped a year, to the point where they initially do the pre-order, they put it to the end of the year, and then they bump it. And every time and again, I'll get like these emails where they push it further and further, and it's never the time that it's supposed to be. They are estimating right now several months. They're not even listing a date of when it'll be. They're saying that this is not a major delay, so much as more space to bring everything together for a polished, complete feel. So, just a little quick history. In conversations I've had with a few game developers, a game doesn't really necessarily come together until the final couple months. And that's when you can actually start to see the game evolve and turn into the vision of what you wanted. Prior, it's a lot of bugs and messes, and like you put this in and this doesn't work, and like you can't even see the game, essentially, until you hit the final couple of months. Now, a game like Shovel Knight, where you assume, hey, they're just making edits to an already existing game, my understanding of this game is supposed to be totally different. This is supposed to be very much on par of the original Shovel Knight game. They're just asking for a couple of months to tidy it up and to make it more of a complete game, and I'm okay with that, because of the fact that I feel what Yacht Club has delivered is like no other company out there. You look back at the failed stories of Kickstarter, you look back at the Mighty Number 9s and stuff like that, we know that Yacht Club delivers, and they do such a solid job that, to me, when I look at this, I go, hey, you know what? Take the time you need. Make it right. Because when it comes out, I know that I will be happy. So I'm all for this. Just a little curious when it does hit. It's got to be just before E3. I don't think they want to go later than E3. And the middle of the summer is starting to get a little muddy as it is, meaning there's a lot of stuff starting to hit. A lot of those games that were announced in the Nintendo Direct were hitting like June and all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how it all pans out. So here's the thing. This next story is kind of more of a blowing me away type story. And let me get to it in a nutshell. Famitsu, a magazine company in Japan that basically puts together numbers, and it's all about gaming and stuff. They came out with the best hardware and software sales in Japan for 2018. And one thing that was very amazing to me, that is the thing that just stood out to me. So the number one game on the list is Monster Hunter World, a PS4 game published by Capcom, released in Japan, released worldwide essentially, but in Japan, it's the number one selling game. Sold 2.9 million copies in Japan this past year. Now, we push forward to number 2. That would be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate by Nintendo, coming in at number 2, selling 2.69 million copies. Now, you think about it and you go like, man, Nintendo was just so close. Just so close, they just fell so short. Monster Hunter had a full year head start on Smash. Monster Hunter launched January of 2018. Smash, these sales are 1 month. It's the month of December. That is unbelievable. And the other thing, too, is these numbers are both physical and digital copies. It's just not the physical brand. You go through the rest of the list real quick, like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario Party, Kirby Star Allies, Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Super Mario Odyssey. So essentially, Nintendo itself has the 7 out of the 10 top 10 games in Japan. And it is crazy to think how dominant Nintendo was in Japan this year. Like, it's almost like none of those other games existed. All the games that were huge in the United States almost just fell off the face of the earth in Japan. It is nuts when you think about it. Pretty exciting stuff. Hardware sales, Nintendo was number 1 with the Switch. No shocker to anybody there. This console just continues to sell through and through and just crushing this entire year. Final story that I want to talk about is the potential of leaked release dates on 3 Nintendo games. I was really blown away when I saw these things. So let's just jump into it. Let's not even waste any time on this one. The 3 games are Daemon X Machina, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Animal Crossing. So when you look at the dates that they're basically listing, this retailer in the UK listed, when you're looking at this, it is May 24th for Daemon X Machina, July 19th for Luigi's Mansion 3, and then Animal Crossing is coming in at September 13th, 2019. Now, your first instinct is, well, these are just placeholders. These are just placeholders, it means nothing. Not necessarily true. Typically, place orders are put at the end of the fiscal year, which is April, or at the end of the year for the normal common folk, which is December. None of these are actually here. They're specific dates. Now, the next thing you go is like, yeah, well, they're just dates. They all line up on a Friday, which is typical Nintendo release dates. Now, the only thing that makes me personally go like, I don't believe this, is the fact that Daemon X Machina is coming out May 24th. May 24th is only a few months away. Nintendo just put the demo out, and they put the survey out, and they're basically looking to tidy this game up. I just don't know if 3 months is enough time. Maybe that was the initial release date that Nintendo was looking for, but I think that game is going to get pushed back depending on the results of this survey that Nintendo put out. But the other 2 games, Luigi's Mansion in July, again, another summer game. I don't know. It seems plausible. It does seem specific. But then you have September 13th for Animal Crossing. And when you look at this, you go, well, it does make a lot of sense. City Folk, if I'm not mistaken, launched around the same time. City Folk was one of the games that launched later in the year. It came out, and then you went right into winter. Me personally, I've said it numerous times, I'm not a fan of starting the game in the winter time, or that time of year, because there's really not a whole lot to do in the winter. It's a kind of a boring, bland time of the year to play. I would prefer spring because there's more stuff to do, but that's just my own personal preference. It does make sense. So now let's just take a step back here and we go, okay, Nintendo is going to launch Animal Crossing September 13th. Does this mean, ultimately, that Nintendo's booth is built around Animal Crossing? Now, your first instinct is, no, Bobby. It's going to be Pokemon. But here's the thing. Pokemon is not a big forefront and push for Nintendo during E3. That is a game that is controlled mainly by the Pokemon Company. Now, I went to E3 this past year, and everything was Smash. There was a little section that was Pokemon for Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu. So it was on the floor, but I don't see Pokemon Company going like, go crazy, do this giant display and all this stuff. I believe E3 is going to be set up very similar to an Animal Crossing village. You're going to have houses, you're going to have statues of like KK Slider and Isabelle and all these characters. I think Nintendo is going to push Animal Crossing to be a massive, massive game for them this year. I think also in September, they're going to hit us with this new console, special edition console. It just makes sense to me that you put out Animal Crossing, you put out this special edition console just prior to Christmas, kind of push the parents and all the Animal Crossing fans to buy a new console just before Christmas. Makes a lot of sense to me, and I could see this happening. It also makes sense to me because of the fact of you are pushing another title into the holiday season, which will help draw sales for the console itself. Animal Crossing is a big seller when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. This is exciting news for me, just because I'm getting an idea of the date in my mindset. I would love to see Animal Crossing a huge experience at E3, but I would also like to see the fact of this game hitting in September. I just want to know a date. And if this is the date I have to wait to, at least I can start counting down the calendar. So I'm done talking now. We're going to wrap this up because I got to go mark it on my calendar out there.
I don't really have to. That was kind of stupid, and I apologize for the stupidity and the dumbness that just transpired. Anyway.
Thank you guys for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please slap the like button down below. Share it with your friends. If you're not a subscriber, please smash the subscribe button. You could click it, but smashing it's better. You know what I mean? Like, just get a baseball bat. Do what you gotta do. Make it happen. Anyway, follow me, Instagram, Twitter, @Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.